Greetings everyone, Napoleon Complex here. I go by Ludendorf in the Southern Forums, and today we are fighting a battle in the classical Antiquity division of the Slytherin Digital League. My opponent today is Schweetness101, and he has brought the Carthaginian Hannibal in Italy list, which is fighting my Hannibal in Africa list. So we're in a Carthaginian civil war today. In fact, it's Hannibal fighting Hannibal, which makes me extremely nervous, as you can probably hear from my voice, especially with this battlefield, because it looks like I will be fighting up a mountain. So the skirmishers are going to be key here. I do outnumber him in skirmishers, so and I have more light horse. Now, to compensate for that, he has a better, if more expensive, yes, certainly with these Samnite foot and veteran Samnite foot, he has the better mediums available to him. He has offered to re-roll the map. I think I'm still going to go and have a go at it. I do somewhat pride myself on being able to extricate opponents from strong defensive positions, and I'm going to try and do that today. But this is going to be tough. One thing we can say for certain is this is not going to be a battle for the heavy troops, or at least their role in this battle will be very limited. There's even a marsh here, which I believe absolutely no one will want to fight in. But it could be a good hiding place for troops to emerge. So one thing to think about is I might be able to get troops up onto this ridge. I'm going to need my full force of skirmishers here today, especially the foot skirmishers. The horse skirmishers, not so much. So I think that's a no-brainer. Let's take a look at the lists first of all. So in a bit more detail, we'll compare the cavalry first. I have the better cavalry list. I have more noble cavalry and I have more elephants. But on a list like that, that isn't going to count for much, especially when he can actually deploy more elite cavalry. And a smaller group of elite cavalry would probably be more use here than the usual swarms I bring. We are equal. Well, he actually has better heavy options, being able to bring more veteran African spearmen, and these are very useful troops. Despite their high cost, they're extremely reliable and they're best brought in small numbers to anchor key points in your line. Though admittedly he may not get much of a chance to leverage that advantage given the battlefield. It depends whether or not he's just going to squat on top of the mountain. If he is going to do that, then this might be quite a... This will basically be a day for the medium foot. I don't think heavy artillery will do me much good here, and I seriously doubt he'll bring any either. I don't think he even has that available. His mediums, well, he's got Spanish Sutari and he's got these incredibly dangerous Samnite foot. Well, actually, they're about the same. Oh, so look at it. I'm thinking the veteran Samnite foot. These veteran Samnite foot are not as heavily armoured as my veteran Italian foot, but armour isn't as important as the capabilities these veteran Samnite foot have, which is the fact that they have some armour. And that means that they've got a good chance of causing disruptions and impact, especially considering the fact that they're likely to be fighting downhill some of the time. There's no way around it. I mean, I have to bring him off that hill somehow, which means I have to use my skirmishers effectively. And that is going to decide whether this battle goes ahead or not, or whether it's a restart on a different map, I think. Because I have to try and coax him down from that hill. The rest of his... Well, we have the same types of units. Both of us have these Spanish Sutari. So we have impact mediums. But he has a lot more of them. because he's got these Samnite allies, which I don't have, and that means he can bring up to 11 impact mediums, while I'm limited to 5. What I do have is swarms upon swarms of these cheap Phoenician style foot, and that may be critical for me, because I may be able to make my army larger, and eventually I'll be able to circumvent his position, come in from the flanks, and it won't matter how strong his defensive position is on paper. I'll be able to take him down in practice because I can outflank his position, and my skirmishers may be able to help with that because they can fight on this rough ground. So I think all of that is going to come into play in combination here. So, speaking of the skirmishers, he's not got as many, and that is going to be critical because it means I will be able to outnumber his Lightfoot, and these missile troops may be able to also lure him out off of the mountain and into the open ground, and that may play a role towards me winning the battle potentially. I won't say any more than that. Let's get on with the show once I've set up my army. So here we are. I have, as you might have expected, brought as many mediums and skirmishers as I possibly could. No horse skirmishers, except for a few on the outside who may be helpful in flanking actions. Even on the bad ground, it's worth getting cavalry flanks on the skirmishers if I can possibly manage it. And I have a long line of my Phoenician style foot. I have brought all 7 with me, and that will hopefully help me outstretch his line. Though it does make me rather vulnerable to a sudden charge from the mountain. He'll have to defend actively though, I think, if he wants to avoid me encircling him. And I have my shock mediums and my elite troops on the far right, including the cavalry. If we can get right around the edges, then even these heavy spearmen will be useful on the mountain because they'll be able to get flank attacks. But strangely enough, my veteran African spearmen are very much the auxiliaries in this battle, as are my African spearmen on the flanks. I really don't expect them to have much of a decisive role today. Unless, of course, he comes out to fight. In which case I have to be ready for that possibility too. But this is as good as it's going to get, I think. Let's see what he's brought. Okay. Well, he's not as far forward as I thought, actually. Let's see. Those Samnite foot, who are, of course, very dangerous to my Phoenician-style troops. Now here's the thing, though. They'll be disordered by the difficult slope. But look at that height difference. Still wouldn't help me much. I don't see much in the way of skirmishers. I'm going to send forward some scouts. I need to know what we're up against. Okay, great. No intel. Probably because he's got part of his army in the marsh, so I can't see what it is. Can my cavalry spy anything? They stopped, which means we revealed. That's good to know about. So he's got this winged light javelin horse. It's always frightening not knowing what your opponent has. Now I rather uncharitably assumed he was going to stand on the hill here. In hindsight, that may have been a little bit premature. If we're going to start making flanking noises, then I should need to start it now. Leave the general behind. Our main line will need him. Let's see. So I think those javelin cavalry need to go down first, because they are going to be a pain in the neck for the rest of the battle if I don't try and take care of them. If he starts to move forward aggressively, I can always change my mind. And I have decided that I don't care if he takes this position. That's not my objective. I'm fine with him taking the rough ground. I just won't move up to engage in that case. What I'll do is an infiltrational approach. I'm just going to worm my way around the flanks. We do outnumber them, right? I was hoping for a little bit more of a numerical advantage than that. Should have checked that first. What's he brought exactly? It's funny. Well, he's got this at least one unit of veteran Samnite foot. I suppose I brought my own expensive mediums. Well, I definitely feel uncomfortable. A little bit uncomfortable now. Okay, it still doesn't alter the original strategy. We're going to try to bring down his javelin horse and then besiege the mountain. So let's see, that's where his front line, but he's got some reserves. Take these units across into the side. No, we'll do that later on. I don't really care that he knows about them now. Just going to turn that unit to the side. Alright, next turn. So I just said to my opponent that I'm not afraid of any geographical position. I hope I don't find myself eating those words. He's not moving. Why is he not moving? Seems like such a no-brainer. Okay, here come the skirmishers. Ah, there's the skirmishers. Right. Okay. And here comes the rest of his force. Okay, let's see. So we've got my 9 skirmishers here. And the cavalry, he has 7. So he actually outnumbers me in terms of light horse. I am going to let this develop a little bit. Although one troop I may get involved in the fighting. I mean, to his credit, he is advancing. No, the thing is, part of his army is... I probably don't want to be too aggressive here, do I? But if part of his army is light troops, then that may mean he has a smaller number of heavy troops. If I can protect my main force enough, I might be able to get an advantage. Of course, he doesn't. See, I can move around like this, so I can actually advance quite quickly. I'm hoping to catch him off guard with that. Okay, well, we definitely want to get a presence on the hill. Just keep them moving over. Okay, don't want to make too big a deal of things yet. I'm hoping to lull him into a false sense of security. Next turn. Interesting. Now, is he willing to come off that hill and fight me? Because that will change my calculus completely, of course. Right. So that's the difference with the height advantage. And that would be a bad height advantage. What I was hoping to maybe do is trap him with my cavalry. What I should do is bring my own cavalry forward to confront him. That's a hill as well now. If it's caught out like this in another match, because I didn't realise there was a dip leading to the forest. Right. I think I'll dip my cavalry behind the forest for now. I can move my infantry into the forest here. It doesn't make much of a difference. Maybe if I move my slingers into the forest. Is it worth trying to hold on to the woods here? Because there's a risk my line will be drawn forward prematurely. It does give me the inklings of a plan, using the high ground. Let's see. So if I can draw him forward into an engagement here. I'm just trying to stabilize my position at the moment. As Sun Tzu says, victory comes from invulnerability in defense and victory on the attack. In other words, you have to remain unattackable yourself, and then win when you do choose to attack. Right, that's kind of a bad situation. Yeah, I don't like that one bit, not being able to fall back. That way we can start to drop back. Right, I may not be seeing the forest for the trees here. He's got heavy units coming along. No, they won't do well on the rough ground. If I could occupy the... No, but then we'd be right in front of this position here. We're starting to get a better sense of the length of his line. I definitely out-length. I think I want to make my assault on... I don't want to make my assault on the right. I want to stay in the defense on the right. I want to make my assault from the left. Now that doesn't mean that I can't use my mediums here to some kind of effect. I want to start to move them towards the mountain here, so that they can attack they can harass these veteran African spearmen and the imitation legionaries from a position of relative safety. And I've just started to bring these troops up. The skirmish is going to be messy, I swear it always is. See. So those slingers can come forward and bombard us next turn, but at least that's the worst they can do. And they will be on a nice line for my... actually no, just kind of move here. That'll do nicely. So next turn there'll be a nice line for my light javelin horse to attack. And I'm actually going to just do something completely random so the camera pans in the hope that he will be distracted from that and not realise the significance of it. Next turn. Very quick decision making here. Right, that is actually dangerous now. Well, he's definitely not afraid to advance out onto the plain against me, so it doesn't look like he's hanging back. Oh my goodness. Okay, suddenly I think I'm the one who's defending in the centre here. Look at that mass of soldiers. Probably don't want to move my most exposed unit, my weakest unit into the most exposed area of the battlefield. Let's bring up the veterans. This just got interesting. Right. What am I going to do about this? Well, I think I see a weak point. Come on, computer, you can do it. Wow! Instant disruption! I'll just block that square there. I know that disruption's kind of done the job. Though, if I can lure his troops away, that would be very nice too. And yeah, I kind of want to mask how prepared I am in this flank. So, move up slightly. But I don't want to start moving troops up. I want him to think this is an open game until it's too late. Of course, he may already have worked out that there's a problem. My cavalry should start going right. And can my lights take a peek around back? Suppose not. Actually, they should probably stay on the skirmish line. I will move out to here. That might force him out of formation, give him a few problems. No, but he'll just block it though. Move to here. That way you can't just assault this line freely. And my line, I think, will fall back just very slightly. And we will take a pot shot at the Balearic Slingers. Balearic Slingers, rather. So here was me thinking that I was going to be the one assaulting the mountain. It looks like he's coming down to fight me. Which is a... I'm quite happy about that. Not because I'm trying to say I'm happy I've got the advantage of being on high ground here, but because I'm happy that he's coming out to fight. This is going to be exciting. Right, next turn. Right, well, the line should be joined. He's going for a charge. I was kind of hoping they wouldn't evade. Oh, don't run off to Narnia. They're all gonna do it, aren't they? Oh, just at the perfect time to pin my archers. And get them disrupted. I am going to have some stiff words for my skirmishers when they ran away like that. Total lack of discipline. But these, you can't necessarily follow through in it because of these javelin horse. Very good attack by him there. So he's spreading the line out. And that's an obvious trap. Yeah, he's spreading out to avoid my more powerful formation, to avoid being flanked. Darn it. Alright. I don't want to do that. I don't want to sacrifice my... because I can move here and trap him. No, that wouldn't work. What am I saying? Yeah, trap this unit here by attacking it diagonally. But that's probably not a good idea. There's way too much chance of breaking there. Smart to move his cavalry up like that. I suppose I could go for option C and just try and hit his Italian foot. I think what I'll do is I'll just turn to face. And if he tries to pin me in here, then I can move the Balearic Slingers up. Right, just skate through here. Behind his lines. Now I've got cavalry behind him. There. See if I pull this unit back just a little bit. That gives me a window to bring my skirmishers back into the fight. Can I seriously not pull back? Okay, maybe I will be pulling 2 units back temporarily. It's not ideal to be standing under javelin fire like this, so I'll just pull back again. At leave this unit here. No, I don't. I don't want to be tempted into making a poor decision. Right, now let's put some pressure on his flanks. Start to sweep around the rear. Yeah, we want to give his army a fairly wide berth. And just, well, he's about to drive these off, so I'll need to come down a little bit onto the plains. They'll move these units up onto the rock face. Now that couldn't be worse timing. That was unlucky though. For him, that is. The thing is, his melee obstructs me somewhat. He's certainly going all in, and he was... Really? Oh, I see what he's going to do. Crunch. And here comes the disruption. No! Right, he's going to move troops up to obstruct my light javelin horse, I'd imagine. I will never... I still don't understand the pursuit behaviour in this game. However, I do know what I want to do next. We're going to sweep around to the sides. And he doesn't quite have enough troops to cover this. Can you get them over in time? No, I don't think he can. They're protected by the forest, but let's give them the general... Actually, I have misgivings about that. Because they will be at a disadvantage in the forest. Those are mediums after all. Maybe better to rely on these units to get the outflank. Just going to shift around here. Because I'm really hoping to use these units to flank here. Because they'll come storming out of the forest pathway. Turn around, but can he turn around fast enough? I hate to see that. I'm looking out for vulnerabilities here. He's got the support of his skirmishers though, which makes it less likely that he will present a vulnerability to me. Those skirmishers are doomed. Ah, come on! That's really, really bad. That is really, really bad, and if they don't rally, we'll be in serious danger. Maybe gets a second one. Oh, cut uphill as well? Goodness. That was the whole point of the hill, it was to make sure that didn't happen. Right. Well, those horsemen have nowhere to go. All of that work to try and stop that from happening. And look what's rumbling towards us. Legionaries. Ah. I don't think you can stop me from doing this. Whatever way he turns, these guys are going to catch him. So then they'd still be able to charge. Unfortunately, the general doesn't make a blind bit of difference. No, wait. Don't do that. I need to know how this ends. Please stay in combat. Ah, damn you. Idiots. That was our best shot. You had the advantage in melee. Why didn't you stick around? So another unit for the demerits list. Right. I hate standing under pressure like this. It goes against every tactical instinct I have. I'll come around here. These guys are now not in a great position. Still angry at them for not taking that potential flank attack. I'm not really annoyed at me. I think I still have an advantage here. But because I placed a lot of pressure on this left flank. And he can't really advance without exposing something. But he's making me pay for it. Okay, next turn. This is... He's drawing back. That's actually nothing. Come on, game, don't lock up now. But I think I can get a flank in these Samnite foot if we can win impact. Interesting. Right, our general should ensure that we don't lose that. Those are veterans! That's a disruption. Wow, we held firm. They're just that good. The Samnite foot have a massive 60% advantage over us in melee. I didn't think he turned to face me here. He knows he needs to get those troops out of the way now. Otherwise I'm going to get the flank on him. That's... First freak general death of the day. I suspect there will be many more. Alright. So, before I go doing anything, I need to know what's actually going to happen here. Hold your breath. Yep, that's about as I'd expect. And that's just asking for them to get disrupted as well. What about this unit? This is going to be critical. Okay. Move this unit to here for the flank attack. And this unit should remain here, ready to exploit if they're pushed back. Or possibly come out and attack here if it gets pushed back again. This unit should still turn in, because there might be a flank attack possible here. I actually have no reason to take that fight just now. What I will do is I'll stick a general on this unit. The fight that I do want to engage in is this fight here. Not the best timing for that, actually. Thankfully, I can still do this. Ah, nuts. I did not see those irregular foot in the woods. Well, I can't just let that happen. So he may actually have blocked my flank attack here. Just because this unit dropped back. Well, he didn't block it, it was luck, but it doesn't change what's happened. Good. Although I quite like this the fact that the line's quite broken up here. Don't put them there. It's asking for trouble. Alright, drop back. Right, this is where we definitely have got an advantage. Unfortunately not a decisive one. Where's our general hanging around? Where? Oh yeah, he died in a freak accident. Well, easy come, easy go. Ooh. He's getting very unlucky in terms of his impacts. Yeah, okay, one of them's given way. That's alright, I end up with holes in my line all the time. Right. Ouch. Well, I suppose losing a unit of light javelin horse is not the end of the world. Well done. He managed to overcome the advantage and he almost got disruption on me there. Well thought out. Wish you guys hadn't stood your ground there. Wow. I have not had good luck with my generals today. When did they rally? Maybe they'll break on their own? Ugh. Alright. Fortunately, I think he can stop that flank attack from going through. How's this going to end up? Alright. Well, they're going to lose anyway. Although if they can hold on a little bit longer. Oh, get out of our way! Well, that will certainly help. Well, obviously a disruption is good news for us. Thing is, that bounce back allows them to hit us again. I really do need the extra pressure to get the kill on these guys quickly. Let's see, what about over here? Right, go in for the kill. It's not really the situation I want. We will have a height advantage here. I think we should take the slight risk of disruption and go for it. Yep, that's worked out fine for us. I guess lob some javelins in. So now we return to this situation up here. I think it. Are they engageable next turn? By any method? Blocking in or whatever? No? Alright then. No, no, do not put them there. That would be disastrous. You'd be able to charge them and get the flank attack that way. I knew one of them was going to fail, and of course that may panic the rest of my army. Please pass your dice. That was the one unit I didn't want to get hit by the disruption. Well, this keeps things interesting anyway. Nope, once again, under no circumstances put them there. So now once he enters the square to get the flank attack, we'll probably just impact them. So it looks like my centre's coming undone. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. He'll turn that next turn anyway. I suppose if I hang back a little bit I can get... Possibly I could push through here. At least now they've got the problem of the hill, and they're disrupted as well. So we're winning the fight against those skirmishers. That's an instant break, isn't it? Oh, did they have to run there of all places? Right, just... You've got to be kidding me. That's some luck. That is some luck. These veterans are letting me down. And that's the second battle where they've lost a freak exchange. This should have been an easy fight for them. Next turn 8. If I didn't do this I would have been sorry. It looks like I might be sorry anyway. But they could otherwise have moved right around the flank. I couldn't let that happen. What was I thinking here? Yep. Was pretty. Oh yeah. Well, no. Uh-oh. I may have lost this. Of course they're holding firm, their superior troops. So he's now got two flanks lined up against me. And my troops were already struggling. Come on. Okay, that's progress. You'll just push them out the way. My only hope was to get them to here, but because of the rough ground that won't happen. There's one chance if I can get these guys in melee. Nope. Nope. Death for me. Should have ignored this melee. Oh, wait, what? I don't know where I am with this game anymore. I've given up trying to comment tactically on this match because so many things have happened which should not happen. Right. I can't. Right, and then if I attack here, don't you guys dare disrupt. That doesn't really help me, to be honest. Please don't lose. But first, my veterans are broken. He had me. He had me. And then his general died in a freak accident, and I've been able to break through at the last second. By all right, I should not have won there. We're still going to get it in the back. I mean, I was even moving my javelin foot away from that area because I suspected that unit was going to break. I was trying to avoid the cohesion test. Suppose I can do this. We are at a disadvantage, but if I can get my troops to flank in over the next couple of turns, that will help. I'll be able to get help to them, either in the form of my African spearmen or in the form of my Centauri. Okay, let's see. Well, there's no point in inviting that fight. I'd rather let them come to me. I'd retreat to the hill, but there's a risk of disruption. Next turn. Yep, this is gonna hurt. Like, yep, figured that would happen. Right. Oh, those veterans are going to cause a huge amount of trouble for my Spanish Centauri. Can you guys hold your ground for 5 seconds? Oh, that's what. I mean, they're only a regular foot and they just got hit on the side, so I'm honestly not sure what else I was expecting. Good use of light cavalry. Oh no. This is what happens when mediums fight one another. Oh, that was sneaky. Jesus Christ. Okay. Is the onslaught over yet? Can I breathe? No. Okay, it's over. Well, that was lucky. Okay, let me tell you something about medium to medium battles. Because of the lower cohesion levels, they are absolute anarchy. Because cohesion tests are tried and then failed so often, anything can happen on the battlefield, and you very quickly get this very messy battlefield where routes are happening right, left, and center, and the tactical situation basically changes on a switch. So I mean, look at this situation here. I held on again, which means that they're now going to get my veterans are now going to get flanked, and there's basically nothing I can do about it. So the thing is, we set our ground strategy, but once the actual fighting breaks out in a mediums versus mediums match, there really is anything that can happen. It just depends where the dice fall. That was remarkable luck for me there. The Spanish Atari holding out. On the other hand, it was lousy luck that these units here held, because now I'm going to get hit in the flank. Unless these units, of course, bounce off, which they might well do if disrupted troops try and engage armoured and superior. Well, the armoured won't cause any units, but these are disrupted troops trying to engage superior units. They might bounce off, which would mean that these Italian foot would be denied the auto drop. Something more typical is happening with these veteran African spearmen. So these are average units, and the imitation legionaries have actually managed to hold up for quite a while, but not so for the mediums. So we may as well take the flank here. Right, and I need to try and lock down these light javelin horse, and maybe in a moment of rush judgment, Schweetness might chase them off, but I doubt that's going to happen. Always try and encourage your opponents to make mistakes, even if it's not likely. Put them in a position where they might make a misjudgment. Because I mean, you've probably seen it with my play by now. There have been moments where I have basically done something I would never normally do because I was feeling stressed out about the overall battle situation. There's no point in throwing more troops into that, because those light horse are already going down. Instead, I'll just try and pass my troops through. Now we've got them on the flanks of these units, so as long as these units don't panic, we'll be fine. That's annoying. Well, you know what, I'll go after these units, because they're disrupted and they won't last much longer. Now if I can break through quickly here, I might be able to do something with this. These should start to move towards the back line here. See if we can get fragmentation. No dice. He really should move his javelinman, because he might push me back onto more difficult ground here. So my general, well, this is where in medium versus medium fights, generals are very important because they do offer you a little bit more stability. So it's not just about the dice chances. If This unit loses, it's got a better chance of standing its ground thanks to the presence of a general, and I might get some rallies as well. So this flank is going to go. These units might survive if they can break the imitation legionaries in time. All of this is eventually going to go, but I'm holding my own on the right. I'll probably win here if we can win fast enough. I might be able to get something to here, and this is probably going to be a wash because this unit will be broken next turn. Oh wait, you can't get the flank. Yeah, but these guys are about to auto break, so they're going to go soon. And so I think the battle's going to swing around towards the centre, and it's going to be what happens in the centre which decides things. The fact that my units are elite might give us a better breathing space, and like I said, we might get lucky with impact here next turn. Yeah, so as Schweetness remarked just now in the comments, he's been quite unlucky on the impact phase because his troops are supposed to have an advantage. Oh, was that an instant frag? Oh, goodness. Well, that changes matters. Yeah, Schweetness, I think he might just... He's actually in a really good position now. Because at this rate he's going to take the flank and this... This has been a bad turn for me. A very bad turn for me. Yeah, I really don't see what all the doom and gloom is about. Not sure what that was an aid of. Oh, come on! He's won everywhere! This was ridiculous. But this could... this will certainly have an impact. Lots of fragmentations across the entire battlefield. This just seems to be a battle where no one's heart is in it. Come on. Sweetie, was the 70% advantage and a 2-on-1 not enough of an advantage for you? That's welcome. Okay, quite unfortunate placement here, especially since they're pursuing, so I can't even control them. Bowling with mediums. It's like regular bowling, but with perhaps slightly less injuries on the field. Why do you hate me, random number god? Okay, I'm actually realizing that I've got quite a large points advantage over him now. And also, I just realized this phenomenal piece of good luck has happened. So these cavalry are pursuing, and assuming we can stand for just a little while longer here, we're about to mop up the center, and that will decide things. Of course, a lot depends on what happens here. Can we get to the 21%? I don't think so. That's the last route we're going to get this turn. And let's see. I might be able to deny him the points in the tournament because I feel like he deserves it for such a brave charge there that got so far. Because yeah, we didn't even manage to stand against this unit. Yeah, can I prevent him from getting to 50%? Because he's still got 15 to go. I think I can. I don't think he'll get to 50. I don't think he'll get to the 50% he needs to gain a point in the tournament. Because how it works is if in the tournament, if you can get an opponent to 50% damage, then you still gain a point even if you're defeated. But I think I'm just going to beat him to the punch. Probably best just to shoot these guys down rather than risk an assault on the hill. This should be an auto break. Yep. Oh, more than enough. These guys are about to flank here, so I think I'll turn in on the veteran Samnite foot, because they will certainly turn in on me. And then I can trap them on the side stove. These guys might break on impact. Well, it's worth a try. And these guys should break next turn, which will allow them through to threaten the rear as well, making it an even more dicey proposition for the veteran Samnites. These guys can turn to face the light javelinmen. Yeah. I would say I have this now. There is absolutely nowhere safe to put these guys. I will try and slowly shepherd them off the field, off of this part of the battlefield. There's nothing enjoyable about the situation for anyone. I think I'll just lock my cavalry into this duel on the hill. Damn it, they fell back. Trying to save them from getting shot to pieces by these various units here. So this, yeah, you know the situation. This is all about to fall apart, and we should win the battle imminently. Stop rallying, damn it! Oh, smart to attack with that unit first. Just piling on the pressure. Please leave me alone. How much ammunition do you guys have anyway? Yeah, you might get to the 50% actually. No, they didn't. Oh well, I can still hit them next turn. But I actually have a choice. Right, that could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Hmm. Right. I am going to actually flank this unit because what I'm hoping for is a meltdown which will shatter the entire army. Oh. Oh, vile luck, you strike at me. Unless... Nope. I was hoping I could cause that entire line to just buckle and fall, but the opposite has happened. He's actually withstood me for a turn longer than expected. Well, I took a gamble and it didn't pay off. Now we'll see if my own Italian foot can stand the pressure. They did. Okay, we'll move away here. I might still be able to get the flank here. I think I've managed to play keep away just long enough to get what I need from this. And these guys just need to try and make their way back onto the battlefield as soon as they possibly can. This is actually a pretty good angle to attack at. Alright, we'll just go with that. If I was feeling incredibly clever and cunning, I could have tried to pin this unit in place, and actually that probably would have been the better idea. I don't like that. I should have just made sure that they face forward and locked this unit in place so that it couldn't turn to... Oh, that would have happened anyway though because of the facing. Because it's his unit that are refusing facing, not my unit. Keep them like that, because you can see where the battle line is going to go if this did persist. But honestly, this battle's done. It'll be over next turn, I believe. May as well go and have a go at these light javelinmen. And I'll give these Samnite some trouble as well. Try and offset some of this enormous shock impact. But not much. Are they finally... They're still not low on ammo. Try it one more time to lock them in combat. No dice. They're probably going to get auto-broken. So I need to hope that the battle ends next turn. Okay, next turn. Ah, that wonderful moment when everyone is running away. Can't you hear the screams of terror? Look, I've spoken to many psychologists and they all tell me I'm well, including the ones in my head. Oh dear. Maybe we can end the battle before they're completely swamped. Ah, he managed to turn around. Well, we'll still get these guys. Get them with these guys. Again, that was sheer luck. Now this could have gone the other way. If Swill had had a bit more luck with his impacts, he could have broken me here. It was a very risky strategy on his part, but it wasn't completely insane. Okay. I think I see how it all comes apart. Also, it was an auto break in the end, which just goes to show how hard those mediums on the hill fought. Oh, and we're still playing. But this should end it. And that's me at 63%, and unless something startling happens now, well, someone might rally, there is a chance of that. We'd better turn around to face here, because the battle might not end next turn. It's not guaranteed to. Let's see. They evaded away in a very odd direction. I thought they'd go this way. But it does make sense. They're trying to avoid the rest of my army. And I believe that evading troops try to favour their side of the map. So I'm starting to finally understand the logic behind the AI there. Right. We want this to hit with as much force as possible. So I think I'll swap my general over to my impact foot for the maximum possible punch. And that's an instant break. And the general's death for good measure. This has not been a good day for the generals on either side. They've kind of been dropping like flies. If I wanted to make them more effective, I should have fired my javelins first. Fired? Throw in my javelins. Because you don't fire a javelin. You throw it. Doesn't really matter now, but this is how you should do it. Light Javelin can resist Light Javelin Horse and due to the light spear capability, but you're still better off putting them in the forest for maximum protection. They've charged. These guys are doomed. I'm just going to leave them to their fate now. These fragmented javelin might... Nope. It was really just a waste of ammunition. Yeah, sure, better protect the flank. No, I'd actually rather they just stayed behind. Don't want to present that hill advantage. Okay, I think that's good game. Well, I suppose that's it. Good game. Carthaginian B, because of course they're both Carthaginian armies. Well, let's talk about how that went. So, it was definitely a daring choice to come charging off the hill like that. I believe Schweetness was counting on a quick central breakthrough. He did certainly give me some problems over here on the flanks where he managed to smash through. It was actually my right wing which gave way quick first. So yeah, I didn't manage to outnumber him everywhere. I got the advantage mainly on the left where this forest ambush caught him off guard. And what we were discussing, what he could have done was stayed on the hill, but rather than just allowing me to advance, as I started to move around to try and envelop the hill and bring his troops into danger from flank attacks, he could then have attacked me once I was forced to move forward and once I had broken from my own protected position. As he was maybe just a little bit too enthusiastic and a little bit too hasty to charge, and he kind of left me he kind of attacked me in a well-entrenched position where I was able to move around the flanks unopposed and get enough of an advantage that I was able to overwhelm him. He was also quite unlucky in impact, but then again, he was attacking uphill and that will have blunted the effect of his impact foot, because as we've seen, these medium foot are quite vulnerable and quite fragile and vulnerable to fracturing, and had he managed to meet them in the open, or even, well, they would have been more resilient up here, but even on this rough ground up here on this little plateau, then that might have ended in a more successful battle for him. It's not worth talking about what would have happened if the battle had taken part here, because that would have been a completely different type of battle. That would essentially have been a siege type scenario. But yes, certain. So yeah, maybe just be a little bit more conservative next time. Though it was still very brave of him to come out and fight like that. And as for what I could have done, I don't seem to have great memories of what I did early on in this fight. Okay, maybe not the most fulfilling analysis from me here. I think I could possibly have delayed what develops in the flank here a little bit better, but I think Schweetness had me outnumbered here just slightly, and I don't think there was much else I could have done about that in hindsight. The thing about this battles like this is this was just one massive brawl on the hill here. You saw troops shattering right, left, and centre, and it was very hard for both commanders to predict exactly what was going to happen. There were many cases where this could have gone either way, and it would have just been a case of one more missed die roll or one more made die roll, and things would have gone in a radically different position, different direction, and different points of the battlefield. I think I got more of the critical flank attacks in, and that does tend to be what it's all about, in my opinion. Particularly over here in the woodlands, but other than that, this was kind of a toss-up, and it was been a toss-up that was a bit more even if he just made me come forward a little bit further before he'd launched his attack. So what he could maybe have done was try and hide his army behind here. Oh, he wouldn't be able to deploy that. If he could have somehow masked his approach, I'm not really sure he'd have done that either. Look weak in the center and then bring in a massive ambush army from here and here. So he could have made himself look weak on the ridge here, and then brought a swarm of troops around from the right and the left in order to break me that way, and that could have worked. Because I would have tried to send these ambush forces instead around the flanks to try and envelop the ridge, and then he could have, assuming I didn't use scouting to properly investigate these woods, or if he used the skirmishers to prevent me from doing that, he could then have brought far more troops out than I was expecting and won the battle that way. Okay, let's have a look at the battle screen. So that's a grim day for the Carthaginians at 56%. Not a very good day for my Carthaginians either at 21%. But you can see that that was definitely a decisive battle. We knocked their socks off. Alright folks, first of all, it was a good game, Schweetness. Thank you for playing, and this has been Napoleon Complex. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.